One of the fears that's holding people back is, do I need to show myself on camera? I don't really sound too good. I don't have that kind of professional radio voice. So it's either their voice or it's either their look. You know, my surroundings. I don't really have everything. I don't really have a professional mic. I heard you need all this other technical equipment. I don't have the money for that. So it's money, it's the look, it's the voice, it's the surroundings. And then, of course, it's the topic. What am I going to talk about? Who is going to have an interest in that? Um, People would laugh at me. If anybody hears me doing a radio show, I'm going to be laughed at. What are my friends going to think? What are people going to think? It's a whole lot of voices you're going to be hearing in your head, and it's all made up because nobody's really telling you these things. It's just you telling yourself. So you are actually holding yourself back from actually
Okay,
getting your voice out.
let me ask you specifics
Sure,
because you mentioned like 5 or 6 different things,
that's right.
and it's like it might hold us back because we don't look a certain way, or it might hold us back because we think our voice sounds a certain way, or
That's
because we
right.
don't know what content. Let's talk about those 3 for now.
Okay, sure.
How do we get over our looks, our voice, or our content?
Just accepting yourself. You can't change who you are. This is what I look like. This is what I look like, and I have no intention of changing it. The color of my skin, the frame of my face, my hair, it doesn't matter. And then when I look at the people on YouTube or other podcasters, if they're doing video or audio, I do believe and I've experienced that people are more interested in what you have to share. They're not concerned about your background. They're not coming to critique you or notice you have a little zit here or whatever it
Hey,
is.
you're pointing out my zit?
I am. Nobody really cares about that. People are coming to get quick information, tips that they could implement, or just to relate. Some people, depend on the type of podcast they do, some people are just coming as an outlet. They just need to probably just connect with someone or for someone to resonate with them so that they know they're not alone in the situation that they're in. So nobody's paying attention to the way you look because you cannot change that. And if you do, let me promise you one thing, you will be changing it for every single target audience and every single person. And I don't think you could multiply yourself and change yourself to suit every single person out there. So I think it's a pretty simple thing if you just accept who you are, the way you sound, the way you look, and the content that you want to birth out of you, whatever you have to share. Because believe me, there are lots of podcasts here now, and there are people who are following the specific podcast because it is doing something for them.
Yeah. I have a question. So you started your podcast. I can't remember the platform that you mentioned. Can you say
Blog
that?
Talk Radio. Blog Talk Radio.
And that's still around, I think.
It
I
is,
think it's one of the. Okay.
Yeah.
And so just to share with us a little bit about your journey, like what you first started it at what year, and when did you make your first change after that?
I think it was 2012 is when I started with Blog Talk Radio. And it's free. I think it's still free. I haven't checked it lately. I think it's still free. So if you want to get started and test the waters to see if what you're doing making sense, I guess that's a good way to start. I think they give you 15 minutes free, and then you could probably upgrade to get more, more features. But it allows for that. And I started making the change, I guess, as I noticed people engaging more listeners, because Blog Talk Radio allows persons to call in to the show. So in your studio, you can engineer that and accept calls from persons. You get that kind of access. So you actually get to engage live with a call in to ask a question or to relate with your guest if you have a guest. Some people go with their podcast. It may not do a guest. It may be just them talking, like a solo type of monologue. And people can call in to ask questions. Either way, it doesn't matter. But Blog Talk allowed for that type of interaction with an audience.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what So yours is called Between the Lines, and
Between the
you have a
lines.
subtitle, Decoding Hidden Meanings in Communication.
That's what between the lines
Let me
is.
ask you this. Who is your target audience? Who's your perfect avatar?
Well, I don't know if it's a perfect avatar, but
Okay.
my listening audience are persons who are in personal as well as work relationships that are toxic. They're in situations that they need to navigate those situations. People are in who are in negotiations, on the negotiation table, and they want to be able to understand the hidden meanings of what's going on. Persons who are behavioral analysts who are trying to probably study persons' behaviors, their posture, their intonations, a number of things, even their hand gestures, their eye rolls or their head tilts. They're able to understand that.